right, this is a little show and tell of the parts that Hughes sent to me for Matt's transmission. Well, actually, they sent them to Matt. Matt sent them to me. These are the stock part and the aftermarket part. It's a billet input shaft. Same dimensions, just stronger material. I've seen stock ones take 800, 900, 1,000 horsepower, and then seen stock ones break at 500 horsepower. This is a main shaft. This is solid on like a 96 or newer. I requested a hollow one. It seems to help out with lubrication. Getting the fluid forward and back. Same thing. Near identical dimensions, just stronger material. This is a Sonax, however you want to say it, billet forward hub. Pretty neat piece. It's thicker right here and probably everywhere. Didn't take any measurements, but this is also better material, and it uses this. Maybe a roller bearing. It goes right there. This sits right there on the direct drum, because there's a difference of RPM right here. When you're in first gear, this is looking down the front of the car clockwise, and this is going backwards about 84% of input RPM when you're in first gear. Then this comes to an immediate stop, or relatively quick stop on the 1-2 shift, and then it starts going with the it starts going with engine RPM on the 2-3 shift. This is like the main cool big upgrade, most expensive one out of all these. The main benefit is the weight. So like I said, when there's stuff's moving, spinning a lot of RPMs, and I'll show you in a second how much lighter it is. The big improvement, the big benefit is the weight savings, because like I said, when something's spinning, I don't know, some engineer can do the math, but when something that weighs 10 or 11 pounds comes to a quick stop, it's a lot more force on the intermediate sprag, which is right here underneath that. I'm not going to take that apart. It comes to a very rapid stop. It puts a lot of load on there. This is a 34 element sprag factory. This one is going to have a 36 element in it. Not the real benefit isn't from the 2 additional elements. It's that helps, but the lugs, they're slightly taller on this one, the 36 element. That's what makes it a lot stronger. So, but this has a return spring in it, and then the piston. This one doesn't. So this one's going to show a little bit more weight than this would, relatively speaking, but this is to give you a good idea of how much heavier it is. So 11 pounds 8 ounces. So just imagine the forces involved. Something that weighs almost 12 pounds, probably more than 12 pounds with clutches in it, coming to a very rapid stop on the 1-2 shift. And then I'll weigh this aluminum one. So almost half the weight. Like I said, that still has a piston. That's probably 3 or 4 or 5 ounces. But it's a massive difference. The only downfall of this is you can't run an intermediate band. That's what gives you engine braking in manual second. When you pull it down in the second gear and it jumps you forward a little bit, you can't do that with the aluminum. You can if you use like an Alto one, I've heard, but the band just rubbing on that its whole life eventually wears it out, and you ruin a $600, $700, $800 direct drum. So what you have to do is you have to delete the band. You have to stick a big stop in the band apply servo area, because it has to stay there. Otherwise it'll be a big leak. The piston does in the case. That's what goes right here. So you have to keep the piston there, otherwise it'll be a huge leak. But you have to delete the band, like I said. So yeah, these I've seen my personal transmission. I've been 8s with just a billet input shaft and the cone version of this billet forward hub. So 1,000 horsepower in a 4,000 pound car. This stuff, this should go all the way to the point that it blows up the overdrive assembly. That's the weak link in these 4L80s. The weak link. That's usually the first thing to go. once you put all this stuff in. But they do make a billet, overdrive planet. But mats won't need that. But yeah, just a quick show and tell of the parts that Hughes sent that we're going to stick in this transmission. This is my old Jake's Performance D3 trans brake valve body. When I switched to a reed case, I went to an earlier style, so there's an early and a late valve body. So I took my old one and put it to the side, and we're going to put it mats. So that'll be, billet everything and a trans brake as well. But yeah, just a quick show and tell of the parts that we're going to put in Matt's transmission. Bye for now.